Good morning, everybody. My name is Staff Sergeant Jim Callender with the Major Crime Unit here in the Hamilton Police Service. I'm here to speak about a shooting that resulted into a homicide that occurred yesterday afternoon at 239 King Street West in the parking lot of a commercial business at that location. Our victim, I can tell you, has been identified as Sabir Hassan Omar. He's 19 years old. There will be a media release that contains his information for you, so you have the correct spelling of his name. And there's also a second victim there that didn't sustain injuries, but was part of the incident that occurred at that location. What we do know at this time is that our two victims were in that parking lot. They were engaged in some sort of socializing activities in the parking lot. They were approached by a single suspect where a short verbal altercation occurred, and then shots were fired at both of the two victims. One victim, Mr. Omar, sustained fatal injuries at the scene, and the suspect fled southbound on Caroline towards Main Street. I'll give you a short description of the suspect that we are looking for. He's described as male, between 5'6" and 5'8", with a medium build. He's dressed in all dark clothing, dark shoes, and wearing a dark mask. We're appealing to anybody who was at that location just prior to this incident, during the incident, and after the incident to come forward. We know that there was a lot of individuals there. We have spoken to many that were there. There's many people that are outstanding. It's very important to us that if you have information that you need to share it with us. This is something that is unacceptable in the community. One shooting is too many, but this is another thing where it's happening in broad daylight at a busy commercial industry, at a busy street and main artery of our city. We need people to come forward to speak with us and to help us get to the end of this investigation as soon as possible. We're asking also, if you live in that area, the surrounding area, between the hours of 2:30 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. to check your surveillance cameras. Please look for somebody that matches that description as I provided. If you have that video, please forward it to contact Detective Dave Brewster. That will also be included in your package at the number provided, and please provide that information to us. I'm open to any questions.
Do you have any idea why this victim would have been targeted?
No, we don't have information that would be prudent to share at the time as to what would precipitate this action.
Was he known to police at all?
Yes, the victim was known to us.
Where is he from?
He is from the city of Hamilton.
Would you say that the attack was premeditated in any way, or was it kind of random and came about that dispute?
No, I would say that I would say confidently that it was a targeted shooting. I believe that in some form that the individuals may have some sort of association to each other, and that's just at an initial glance of what we do know right now.
Have been able to understand how many people were in the parking lot at the time? I know it's a busy area.
Yeah, like we say, it's obviously a commercial area. We have surveillance cameras in the area. I would say that there's at least in the parking lot itself upwards of 20 people.
Are you currently reviewing security camera footage from the businesses?
Yes, we are. So we actually have current surveillance video, and we're on the streets right now acquiring more.
What did you see from the reaction of kind of onlookers in the area as the shots rang out?
I think what you can appreciate is the initial shock of not knowing what's happening, and then almost the trauma of actually figuring out what that actually resulted in.
Jim, yesterday at the scene there was a car there that seemed to have gone sort of off the road. Was that in any way, you guys were checking it out, any way connected to the investigation? It was on Caroline.
Went off the road?
Well, it looked like it was had pulled off the road or something.
So what I can tell you right now, we have no information that relates to a vehicle being involved. I am confident that the single suspect fled on foot.
Thanks.
And the second victim, just explain again his relation.
So our deceased and the second victim, they are together at the location, and they're obviously engaged in a conversation with one another. They are approached by the suspect. When the altercation ensues, our victims are attempting to flee. Unfortunately, Mr. Omar is fatally shot, and the second victim is able to flee.
There's been several incidents in recent years investigated
I'm here to speak about the single event. Yes, we are aware that there has been events that have occurred at that location in the past. I wouldn't say that it's an area of concern. I think, like you say, it's a highly dense downtown area, and I think that's just a congregation point. I wouldn't suggest that this is in any way related to that location specifically.
Can you say where the victim was shot?
No, I won't disclose those details.
You said it was targeted, right?
Yes, everything that we have at this point would indicate that it is a targeted attack.
What were they doing there beforehand? You said about 20 people. Why were they there?
Sorry, there's 20 people just in general, like customers, passersby. That's what in my victims, they are engaged with together as socializing, and there is some interaction with other individuals that come and go throughout that time, but specifically those two individuals are together.
What can you tell us about their family and how's it holding up?
So what I can tell you about the family is they have a very strong community, and they've had a lot of support through the community. We went and were able to see them last night, and they were amongst multiple community members. Obviously, this is something that no one ever wants to have to experience themselves. Traumatic for them. They're looking for answers, and that's what we're asking from the public, is to help us find them.